Hey there, chart friends. Lamont here from Chartcast, checking in on the electric vehicle sector. There it is. Here's the whole electric vehicle sector. Okay. Did I highlight this trade? I hope I did. I took it. All right. So I think on Thursday I highlighted this shelf of support. Definitely wanted it to hold. I believe we had a top bar as well, talking about the potential of top fishing the range. Huh. It is. That's odd. Well, let's just start from the daily time frame. So all we were saying last week was that we care more. Well, I care more about this sideways range now. I don't really see this as a big old daily EQ anymore. Ever since we've been holding these lows here and just kind of going sideways. So that being said, I am interested in potential bearish plays as long as we're in this range. Should we test this high here, especially if we can get hourly overbought. But first, we are still holding this shelf of support down here right now. I don't believe the bulls got an trend change. Let's see. So you could say that there was a trend change in this after hours here, but obviously today, with today's action, really it just looks more sideways than anything. And so one thing that was notable though that was Tesla was relatively strong throughout the day, where QQQ was making lower lows. Tesla was holding its low and holding Friday's low as well. So positioned well for any kind of QQQ bounce, and futures as of right now is okay. Alrighty then, so if you took this trade with me, then ideally you have already chopped it up for to protect your position with the stop below this low somewhere, because we still can see lower. Tomorrow, ideally what will happen is I feel like we'll just tighten in this range. So it's likely going to be very dependent on the overall market. If the overall market is strong and bounces overnight, I wouldn't be surprised by a higher open or even a gap up open from Tesla. But if the market is weak and it's not insanely weak and Tesla can maintain its relative strength, then I don't think it's unlikely for the Tesla bulls to hold this 410 low. That would be the best case scenario for them. So strong market, best case scenario is to break to an hourly higher high over 425.76. And best case scenario in weak market is just to hold this low here of weekly chart does not look bad, with price just kind of going sideways, letting the EMAs come up and play catch up. The ideal situation for EMAs. Of course, we know we're in this daily range and hourly, which is 2, so that's pretty much it. Ideal scenario tomorrow will be to defend these lows, hold these lows 410, break to higher highs 420 over 425. Going to be so redundant, trying to dig out some more information. Rate that content. It's gonna yell at me. Okay. All right, so this channel I think is something interesting to note as well. And ideally, what'll happen is whenever you play with channels, what you look out for is the inability for the price to go to the other side of the channel. Because let's say we just start going sideways here, and the bears are unable to test this channel support. Then what's happening? We're wedging. We're potentially going to break out of it. So ideally, we can just kind of break through this median line here. You can see that we had 2 rejections from the already. So I like this channel for some structure going forward. Ideally tomorrow, even if we just go sideways, that would still be good regarding the channel structure, because we'd be printing close to our time. Essentially, you'd be gaining in time, but not in price. To attack the channel, I mean. Not that time gains anything. You don't get money for holding longer. Well, depends on the strategy. Anyway. NEO. Ooh, that's not a good look for NEO. So NEO, we drew out this shelf that was a must-hold level. Ideally, it was a must-hold level, I should say. And the bulls, well, I guess price itself left this channel and lost the shelf support, and the shelf is drawn kind of arbitrarily just based off the weight. So should have started on the daily time frame. Apologize for that. This is not a bad look, honestly. It's not terrible. We're still holding, the bulls are still holding the daily 12 EMA, looking for a daily higher low. Anything over 21.17 will be a daily higher low. We are not confident yet that that daily higher low is set because we do not have an hourly trend. So ideally what the bulls will do tomorrow is show up right away, defend yesterday's low of today's low, I should say, of 25.46, push up, create some more space for a potential hourly higher low. Any bounce though, bears will just be scouting a lower high under 27.35. That's all. NKLA. NKLA, we're probably looking at a tightening range here for NKLA. Now that the lower high is very much likely set after we set that high low here, so would not be surprised by continued tightening range. But that being said, considering the weekly downtrend, all that daily downtrend too. Considering all the macro trends, would not be surprised to break this low. But the bulls will ideally defend that low. So still a bit more range for the bulls to work with. See what the hourly can like. So hourly was just flirting with oversold conditions today, and so there are bottom fishing plays that to be had, but I don't know. I don't. It's very hard for me to be bullish on KLA. I can't help but notice a really nice day trade set up here today off of the PDC. Really great level to play off of. A 5 minute. Yes, you did. So knowing that you were looking for a potential hourly lower high or potentially a double top here, top fishing to PDC with the 5 minute overbought, 5 minute RSI extended. I just can't. It's so hard for me to be bullish. But yeah, there will be a low risk play here. Something like this. Right? Probably want to grab some of your stops. I mean, you probably want to put your fill where there would be some obvious stops. So there would likely be some obvious stops below these two lows here, the 1950 low and this PM low. There's probably some stops there. So if we could get hourly oversold like buried, it would be quite oversold down there. The 4 hour, I believe, would be as yeah, 4 hour would start getting a little extended down there as well. So I don't hate something like this, but I don't love it. Like it's a pretty bold play. But it's likely just with RSI extension alone going into that support, it's likely to offer you the potential to take profit off position and protect. We'll just be looking for a daily lower high. That may be a bit too ambitious, so maybe someone I don't hate it, but I don't love it either. Of course, there is another support back here at 51. But again, very apprehensive. It looked all right. WKHS set a really quick daily lower high, broke two lower lows. Daily downtrend is very much still the case for WKHS. Are we looking for So we're on the verge of monthly consolidation, right? The key support to fend that off would be 1680 were a loss. Then we would be looking for that. Bulls will be scouting for a monthly higher low. Well, let's see where that last monthly. Wow, $1.30. All right, so might be. We're looking for a monthly higher low. Ideally, we'll have weekly oversold conditions. Nowhere nearby. What about the daily? Daily would start getting extended near the lower end of this. That's kind of interesting. And mark off some more levels. Okay. I don't hate an attempt down here first. So the RSI will come up this line. If we were to push down just a little bit more, we'd be flirting with daily oversold conditions near where all these supports are. So for an initial trade, I don't hate something like this. Where we stand right now. Obviously, we'll get more information every day. I hate something like this. See if it looks realistic on the monthly time frame. The monthly time frame, essentially what we'd be looking out for is just a backtest of this 12 EMA. Seems fairly reasonable to me. Although it is quite a bit of range, so maybe a patient bull will wait to see what the daily reaction is. Probably be aggressive. But a patient bull might wait to see what the reaction like is on this level and then maybe make. But in so much range, actually. Yeah, I'd probably just for an hourly move. So because I know we're looking for a monthly higher low, um, it would be very early to be looking for hourly oversold bounce plays. However, that being said, for price to hold this range, considering all the volume that was put in here, is not terribly unreasonable. So maybe some more patience. We'll wait a little bit, see how it all shakes out. Power will be buried there. If the bears just keep showing up, I would be confident scaling in. If we stair step down, then I would not like that. All right, let's see. Moving on to NEE. Sweet. Other that I got orders today. Okay, so another trade highlighted. We were talking about this potential weekly bull flag, and NEE is a name that I like. It's they're a major player in the wind sector. So really the only liquid that in the ETF that I've noticed. So we're looking for this potential flag to shake out, and we were watching that hourly channel as a bit of a guide. And whenever you have some confluence with the between tools, I always love that. So we had these levels marked off because there were multiple bottoms put in here. But also I wanted to include a potential test of the median line in hourly oversold conditions. I don't even think it got there. Barely got there. So we were just a little bit oversold. I hope I got it. Pretty sure I got a fill. Whatever the case may be, the bulls are trying to confirm this. Trying to confirm this potential bull flag, and so ideally what we'll see tomorrow is some push out of this channel to make some even more space over 297.58 to set a healthy higher low to potentially change the trend, a higher high, and be confident that this daily higher low is set and then potentially more upside. So what's the next trade? If you're looking bullish, and this channel were to break, I would love a backtest entry. So you see there are all these tops that got put in here, for example, right? One top, two, a bunch of them. It's my opinion is likely a contentious level. Here's another pivot, a couple pivots over there. So I feel like that's a pretty important level. If the bulls were able to break over that right away, first thing, I do not hate a back test of this level over here, of right, to include the channel, to include that top. Sorry, include the level, the level with multiple tops, to include the back test of the channel, maybe the 12 and 26 hourly EMA. But I like this zone for a potential higher low. Pull back right from here, aggressive, so something like that. That is pretty aggressive in my opinion. So now something, my zone of interest. And this is only if we were to pull back right from here. If the bulls are able to come up and test this level here of what, 305-ish, then I would be much more comfortable scaling in. Okay, so it's going to depend very much so on the open tomorrow here, or a little bit lower depending on whether or not we can come up and test. But bulls position very well for NE. I think that just about covers it. So thanks for tuning in, and I will see you